Hi everyone. Today I'd like to talk about my experience with acne and acne scars. As a teenager, I had some acne, of course, like everybody. But I cannot say that I remember precisely the degree of my acne, actually. But I do remember that I had some concerns about that, and sometimes it was worse than others. And so obviously it's not a pleasant experience. And when I had a lot more acne at the time, I tried some creams to try to make it better, and I think that it generally worked. Okay, so it was not a good experience, though. Whatever happened there is nothing to what happened after that. So, a couple years after I dropped out of high school, I started getting a lot more acne. Okay, it started to become a pretty severe. And I didn't even know that this form of acne actually existed. So, we are talking about cystic acne or nodular acne. And so, what it is that I had a lot of nodules, like all over my face, and this type of acne is like those nodules are, I'd say, bigger, okay, than your usual pimples, but they're also like much stronger. Okay, the problem is that they can take weeks to disappear, and they can lead to scarring. Okay, scarring and even some deeper scars. Okay, so this is something that can be very hard mentally, very difficult, because every time that you have a new nodule, you think about that. You think about, and this is very exhausting for the mind. Um, it's something that really puts you down because you think about all of those scars that you could have, permanent scars that you could have in the future, and also had some trouble with not popping my pimples in my life. And here, in that case, it is much riskier to pop those nodules, like I said, because there's a big risk that it's going to lead to scars. So, and unfortunately, it's pretty much what I did. So, okay, after some time, it was not easy. My confidence was definitely took a hit, and so when I was looking at some people, it was harder to look them in their eyes, like look in their face, and because it was at its worst, it was pretty bad. Though it could have been much worse because at the time and even today, I had no friends. So it's not like I was going to school or I was working. So I didn't meet many people. Um, but it was still not easy mentally. So what happened is that I had to meet a new dermatologist. So I met the one that my mother had. So he wasn't taking new patients, but since he already had my mom as a patient, he accepted me, which is really appreciated. So he prescribed me some pills, and after a couple of months, unfortunately, it didn't work. So I still had severe acne, um, and it was pretty bad. So I had to go back, and this is when he actually prescribed me um, something that is generally used for severe acne, though banned in some countries. Accutane. So I didn't have many side effects besides like I think I had like a like one or two permanent pimples that appeared and didn't go away actually, which is probably related to that. Besides that, nothing major, and it definitely fixed my severe acne. So after a certain amount of time, it pretty much completely disappeared. So obviously, sometimes I still had some acne, obviously, but nodules rarely occurred. It's not something that was common anymore. So obviously, there's other reasons why sometimes we can have acne, but besides that, this was finally fixed. Problem is, I had a lot of scars now. Okay, and also add some red spots on my face, obviously, some redness, and so I went back to the dermatologist to see if they maybe he could have some creams that could help with that. So I tried some. Unfortunately, didn't really work. So I realized that if I wanted to get rid of those scars, I will have to do some laser treatment. And unfortunately, this costs a lot of money. So some scars got a little bit better over the time, but others are definitely permanent and pretty bad, though you cannot really necessarily see it at this distance right now. You will have to be much closer with some light, and maybe maybe in 4K it's much worse. Like I've never seen it, but at its worst it can be it's pretty clear, unfortunately. So I hesitated for a lot of time, like a couple years, about trying some laser treatments. Obviously, I hesitated because, well, first of all, it cost a lot of money, and I was a little bit worried about some potential side effects, but also because I really like to show vulnerability, and so I felt that maybe it could be preferable for me to actually go in public with my scars, without doing any treatments whatsoever, to try to inspire people, for example. But obviously, this is something that affected. It can still affect my confidence. It's not as bad as a couple years ago, but still. So I ultimately decided to try it, though they're smaller treatments. So they still cost a lot of money to me, but they don't cost as much as like a big, much more efficient treatment. So I tried it once, and obviously I couldn't see any difference. And this is something that that is more effective with like 5 treatments or more. And unfortunately, obviously, I cannot do that right now because it's going to cost too much money. But after a couple months, I actually decided to try a second one. And again, there wasn't much change, unfortunately. So this was a waste of money for me. And obviously, I don't work, so I don't have a lot of money. So this was not a good decision. But actually, I tried it. I had to see what was going to happen. So I still have the intention of doing at least the big treatment, which could cost around $2,500 to $3,000, something like that, if I remember correctly. Which could may take only one treatment. Okay, it's a much stronger treatment, which is very effective. And I still think that it will be preferable for me to do it one day. But obviously right now I don't have the money for that. So So sure, it wasn't easy, and it still isn't. But I have learned to live with it, with that situation. Um, I don't know how I could actually realize if feel if I, for example, saw myself in public, like in 4K. Um, how this could affect me, I cannot say because I never experienced it. So it's possible that another reason why I should do it is that it can be more pleasing for people to look at me. Okay, depending on how bad it could be, I don't know. Listen, we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. But what I want to say is that um, I want to send a message to everyone that has experienced acne or acne scars, or that still experience those things today, that I perfectly understand your suffering. I went through that, and this can be extremely painful, and I am totally with you guys. And unfortunately, science is not quite there yet. Hopefully in the future it's going to be much easier to easily reduce acne or scars. It's getting better, but anyway, it's still something that is pretty bad, and unfortunately some cases can even lead to suicide. So hopefully you're going to get through this terrible moment in your life, and it will probably get better as time goes by. And I also recommend you to listen to other testimonies. This is something that could really help you a lot to go through those difficult times. And that's about it. So thanks for watching, and see you in another video.